Man, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you like a goddamn dollar store. If you truly want to see the effects take place when it comes to this practice of semen retention, then you got to stop retaining for benefits and start living for God. Yes, sir, let me say that again. If you truly want to see the effects take place when it comes to this practice of semen retention, when it comes to this whole journey of being able to leverage your sexual energy towards your advantage and towards your spiritual evolution, you gotta stop retaining simply for benefits and instead start living for God. You might be wondering, okay, man, how do I do that? How do I start living for God? How do I just make that the goal instead of just the benefits? Because everybody talks about the mental benefits, the physical benefits, spiritual benefits, female attraction, this, and that, blah, blah, blah. Well, relax, because in this video, we're going to break this bitch down real quick like a brick for y'all. Okay, to start things off, man, to understand the whole concept of living for God, I'm not here to convert you into any religion. I'm not here to make you a monk. I'm not here to make you some saint, because I'm not that. And matter of fact, I really don't care about being a person that's so enthralled into one view of what God is, one view of what this universe has to offer us. Because there's this good quote from a Sufi mystic that states, there are as many paths to God as there are souls on earth. Yes, sir, let me say that again, because that's a goddamn bar. There are as many paths to God as there are souls on earth. Each and every single one of us have our own kind of philosophy, our own path, and our own gateway to God that we have to understand and create ourselves. And does that mean the gateways you go to heaven after you die? No. If you watch this channel, if you watch it in the main channel, you tapped into all this type of content, you'll understand that you're on the mystic path. You're using these tools, whether it be semen retention, whether it be the spiritual practices, whether it be even working out, getting your physical fitness to the top tier level, using psychological tools to help you develop your mind to the highest capabilities. That's all ways for you to actually be able to meet God or experience the higher realms of reality here on earth. That's what it means, bring heaven on earth. Experience the higher realms of reality, the higher planes of consciousness, and the higher states of being within yourself. Again, this is none of this stuff is outside of you. The mystics know this. You are a mystic. They know this and you know this. That's why you tapping into this content. This is why you're understanding and you're picking up what the fuck I'm putting down. Using all these tools to unlock and uncover a specific part of yourself, if you want to call it the God within, aka the divine spark that's just been waiting for you to kind of awaken it. Watch out, Lola, get out of my camera. She's gonna knock it over again. But you're waiting to, you're using all these tools to awaken that divine spark within you. That's the reason why you retain. That is the reason why you are on this journey in this practice, not for the benefits. And again, I don't want to shame anyone. I don't be like, oh man, you're a loser for doing that. Because let's be honest, I started because I heard all these YouTube videos talking about the benefits, the this, the that, blah, blah, blah. You probably started because you saw these videos about them. Maybe it was my video. Maybe it was somebody else's video. Who knows? Let me know down below. But that kind of gets your foot into the door. What really shifts you to understanding how powerful this practice is when you use it as a tool, not the end goal, but a tool to access and uncover that divine spark that lives within you. That's been waiting for you to awaken it for years and years and years. Not only to become the best version of yourself, but also to become what I like to call a divine vessel for God to use you with your God-given gifts, abilities, and talents to help in some way, shape, and form the collective consciousness of humanity and help it elevate from the animalistic mind, from the hive mind, from the matrix, from the Maya, and from the illusion. That's powerful, deep stuff when you start to understand what this journey is, because anything that you do, when you understand more about it, you will start to actually take more responsibility for it. You will actually start to put in more effort towards it. You will actually start to respect it more. If you just think that semen retention is about, oh, female attraction, this and that, blah, 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 my dopamine sensors get healed, yeah, that's great. But when you realize the deeper essence of this, that's when you start, quote unquote, living for God, like I just said. And living for God doesn't mean that you're going to church, that you're going to this, going to that. Maybe you are. Again, there are as many paths to God as there are souls on earth. So maybe that's part of your path. I don't know. I'm not here to tell you what your path is, but what I'm telling you is certain tools, tips, techniques, and just overall tricks to be able to uncover the path that already is within you. When you're living in those lower states of consciousness, your lower animalistic mind, the lower three worlds I talk about so much on this channel, aka the lower three chakras or planes of consciousness that are only focused on survival, sex, and status, how can you tap into finding out what that path is for you? You're literally only focused on the lower level desires of humanity. And again, those are not evil, those are not bad, but those are just the lower levels. And again, accessing heaven on earth is going to require you to tap into those higher states of consciousness. Think about the etymology of the word hell. Hell, heel, closer to the ground, closer to your animalistic side of existence. It's lower. Heaven, head. Higher planes of consciousness. That's what you really are retaining for, tapping into higher planes of consciousness. And when it comes to the chakra scale, that is, of course, the heart is like the mediator in between the two. On the esoteric terms, they called the heart the mind of the soul. They called it the mediator in between the physical and the spiritual. It's the gate that opens you up towards higher realms. Once you access the heart chakra, that's when you start to actually open up the doors towards what you were really brought here to do. You want to spread, quote unquote, love. Like there's this quote from one of the most famous Hindu sages, mystics, Sri Ramakrishna. You guys may know him, you guys may not know him, but what he states is that the ultimate goal of human life is to spread love. It has the power to transcend all karmas and desires. Love is the true pinnacle of this all. When you feel it from within the heart chakra, you start to wonder how you can actually spread that out to others. And I'm not talking about romantic, kissy-kissy type of love. I'm trying to spread love to you guys like that, but no homo, bro. I don't swing that way, okay? So as you understand, that is not the type of love that we're talking about. The type of love is that you see other people as reflections of you. You want to ignite that divine spark within them. You want to help them on their journey. Not only because you are the beacon of light for other people to follow as well, but you understand that if you can spark their divine essence within them, they're going to do to someone else, that person's going to do to someone else, and that domino effect just keeps going. And this is how we get from, quote unquote, Kali Yuga, the dark ages of man, where spirituality is low and carnality is high, on over to the golden ages. Build up a new renaissance. Become that version of the Leonardo da Vinci's, the this, the that. We are going to be on that path. A true mystic man who understands the science of mastering his mind, body, and soul. This is what this practice is about. This is what it means to start living for God instead of just retaining for benefits. Cool, bro. The benefits are a byproduct. That's not the end goal. The benefits of mental clarity, physical vitality, personal magnetism, all that stuff. Is that your end goal in life? Because if it is, I'm sorry to tell you, you're a fucking loser, bro. You're a fucking loser. If that's the end goal in life, those are just stepping stones and tools to help you access something much greater. That spiritual purpose, aka your spiritual duty, your dharma. What you were brought here to accomplish on this incarnation for you to finally spread that love. And as we continue on that chakra scale, this is when you start to tap into the throat chakra and actually start to express and create Doesn't have to be the speaking, but that's just a symbolic reference of being able to express your version of enlightenment that could spark someone else's. And as you go on that journey, guess what? When you start to express and create, God or the universe will start to give you, up in the third eye chakra, intuition, give you feedback, give you type of knowledge, aka gnosis, that can only be found from within, to help you navigate this journey of life. To understand, okay, he's actually putting in the effort towards actually producing love into this world. Cosmic love, universal love. He's actually expressing it out into the world in some way, shape, or form. He's not at his pinnacle yet, but it's all good because I'm going to give him some sauce, some game, some understanding, some gnosis on how to keep going on this path, going on this journey. No one knows the end goal of life, the end goal of where they're going. It always shifts and evolves. But when you have that gnosis on your side, the intuition on your side, and actually understanding that you're on this journey for a much deeper reason, God and the universe will reward you with the understanding and the ability to keep moving forward. God, or the universe, or the God within, needs you to actually do this, not only for itself, but also for the betterment of humanity. And then to the next level, after the third eye chakra, when you're actually following that path, you're knowing intuitively that you're on the right journey, you're getting these synchronicities, you're getting these different types of supernatural things happening into your life, where it's like just reaffirming and reinforcing that, yeah, man, you are becoming that vessel for God to actually be able to help elevate humanity, elevate the collective consciousness to the next stage of their evolution. Guess what? I'm going to shower you with divine bliss, the crown chakra. Divine bliss, aka what I've talked about before on this channel as spiritual ecstasy. No pleasure can ever equate to that. No physical pleasure can actually top that. The spiritual, again, is the superior force within our human existence. Even though we can't taste it, touch it, this and that with our 5 physical senses, it's able to be felt from within on our metaphysical senses, which I've talked about before also on this channel, how semen retention awakens your spiritual senses. So when you actually tap into that realm of reality on this journey, because you're not just retaining just for your benefits, you're doing it to become a divine vessel for God, you're doing it to live for God, you get showered with that divine ambrosia, divine nectar, divine bliss, spiritual ecstasy. And nothing can equate to that, man. Nothing can equate to that. Nothing can top that. Nothing can be as blissful as that. A lot of people, I'm making a video about this too later on down the line on this channel, chase pleasures when in reality the soul is only fulfilled through the pathway that awakens joy, true joy. Stop kind of thinking that pleasure is joy. They're two different scales. Pleasure is temporary, it's illusionary. Joy is something that's coming from within. Pleasure is something that you chase externally. Joy, you access that from within. When you're on the path towards becoming the best version of yourself, mentally, physically, and spiritually, in order to actually elevate humanity on all planes of reality as well. That's what you truly are looking for. That's where the soul will truly yearn for. The physical body, this shit is temporary, bro. I'm not telling you to disregard it. This is like your avatar. This is your vehicle. This is your car. This is your supercar, your whip. To be able to navigate this plane of reality. The mind is the steering wheel. But who actually drives it is the soul, the spirit, something that is eternal. Don't make your whole life focus on physicality. It's only a small aspect of it. Don't make your whole life focus on mentality. It's only a small aspect of it. Don't make your whole life just focus on spirituality. That's only a small aspect of it. They all play into each other. That's the true Holy Trinity. The mind, body, and soul. That's how you awaken, quote unquote, the God within. And this practice of semen retention is only an amplifier and a catalyst to get you to that point. It isn't the end goal. If you hit 30 days of retention, I'm telling you right now, you are not going to become the best version of yourself. You might be getting closer to that, but again, you made the goal hit 30 days of retention because you get these benefits. Cool, you got the benefits. What are you going to do with the benefits now? Are you picking up what the fuck I'm putting down? What are you gonna do with the mental clarity? What are you gonna do with the physical vitality? What are you gonna do with the spiritual intuitive connection that you've built through awakening your spiritual senses on this journey of semen retention? That's when you actually start to understand what this journey is all about. Semen retention is just a small aspect of it. It is a strong, powerful catalyst to this whole process of self-mastery, which leads to self-realization, but it's not the entire journey itself. And a lot of these people out here talking about semen retention will just make it seem like if you just hop on semen retention, 90 days, etc., blah, 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 you've awakened your fullest potential. No, sorry to tell you, you don't. But it gives you, again, the mental clarity, the physical vitality, and the spiritual connection to your soul. That navigation system to your higher path. It gives you all those tools. What are you going to do with them? What are you going to put them towards? You got the benefits now. Let's start using it for a much bigger purpose, a much bigger picture that goes beyond just you. That goes beyond just your physical needs, your mental cravings, but what actually fulfills and nourishes the soul. That's when you start tapping into understanding what this practice is really about. Because come on, man, let's just be honest here. If you've been watching this channel, you've been watching the main channel, you probably understand that I'm a pretty practical guy. I get into the mysticism, spirituality, this and that, but I keep it straightforward, man. I keep it a buck like a goddamn dollar store. I would not be on this journey for 4 years now if there was not a bigger picture. If I'm just doing it for physical vitality, mental clarity. At some point, that becomes your default state of being. What am I using it towards? What are you using it towards? That's what actually keeps you on this journey that I've talked about before on this channel. The longer you retain, the more becomes revealed. The more of what your path is on life becomes revealed. The more of what your gateway to God is becomes revealed. That's when you actually start tapping into the true power of being able to use your creative force of energy, your sexual energy towards your advantage rather than towards your demise. Shit gets deep, man. And if you guys are someone that's just kind of come across this type of concept and this whole idea, you are going to be much more ahead than a lot of people that are just doing it for the benefits, that are doing it for the mainstream type of things. Hopefully this channel, as well as the main channel, as well as other things as like the private Patreon community. Shout out to the fucking private Patreon community. If you haven't joined up yet, man, and you actually enjoy this type of content, enjoy this type of message, and actually it helps you elevate your mind, body, and soul, then you're certainly doing yourself a disfavor. You're doing yourself a disfavor by not joining up to the private Patreon community, because within there, you get access to exclusive content, breaking down all these different types of topics, much more in-depth and in detail, along with other types of pieces of content, whether that be our full occult lectures, in-depth guides, and all that good stuff. But most importantly, if you tap into the Philosopher's Circle membership, the highest tier of the private Patreon community, you'll be able to tap into our monthly mastermind live calls, where we're doing 2 live calls a month. Yes, sir. 2 live calls a month where you hop on a call with me, as well as a community of like-minded men who are also on this path of self-mastery, who also understand that semen retention isn't just the end goal of life, but they're using it as tools to help them access the higher potential, to access their higher faculties, to access these higher planes of consciousness in order to help humanity grow, help humanity evolve in some way, shape, and form. Some people making content, some people are making different career paths and all that stuff, man. It's just an amazing community, an amazing way to connect with other people who are thinking just like you, who are watching this channel as well. And we're ready to take the next step on this journey, on this transformation towards becoming the best version of themselves, mentally, physically, and spiritually. So, oh man, almost knocked over the camera. So if you're interested in stuff like that, check out the pinned comment of this video, because within there you'll also be able to find application forms for personalized coaching if you want to work with me one-on-one, as well as booking calls to set up a one-on-one consultation with me, to also things like our free community Discord server, free weekly newsletters. All that good stuff is again posted in the pinned comment of this video. But like I was saying, if you're someone that's tapping into this channel, the main channel, the private Patreon community, who are maybe working with me one-on-one, whether it's in the consultations or the personalized coaching program, you'll understand that there is a deeper aspect to your existence that I don't know how you figured it out. I don't know how you figured it out. Everyone has got their own path, remember. Maybe it's through psychedelics, maybe it's through religion, maybe it's through spiritual awakening. It does not matter. You understand, though, there's a deeper aspect to your existence. And you have to understand, too, at the same time, there's certain things that are going to help you get to that point, and certain things that are going to make you stuck in those lower states that you're in probably right now. Again, those are not evil. They're not bad. You're not somebody that's going to be cast into hell. But that hell vibration, hell, heel, lower, is what this society, what the matrix, what the Maya, what the material world, the illusion, is trying to keep you under, like a hypnotic spell. Things like semen retention are tools to help you access those higher states of consciousness and help you break out of that barrier, that mental block that keeps you stuck as a slave to the senses and keeps you stuck to just satisfying your lower three worlds, aka the lower three chakras, which are only focused on survival, sex, and status. Once you break out of that through these types of practices, again, you'll tap into the heart, throat chakra, Ajna chakra, third eye, as well as the crown. That's when you actually will, quote unquote, be living for God, becoming a divine vessel for God. And again, that God is within you. The aspect of divinity, that divine spark is within you. It's literally like a firework waiting to just pop off. You just gotta light the match. You just gotta you gotta just spark the lighter. You just gotta use the fucking flamethrower. Blow torch it. Let that shit set off, bro. Like it's 4th of July. Pop, 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 pop. That's when you actually start living. That's when your life actually starts becoming more than just satisfying your needs, your base level needs, like that of an animal. Like, look, right here, a dog right here, like that of an animal. If you were brought here just to satisfy your lower level needs, you would just come as an animal. There's a reason, there was a overall deeper conscious purpose of why you were brought here in this form. How tall you are, what ethnicity you are, how old you are, what part of the world you were born in. All that stuff, man. There was a specific design motherfucking reason for all this happening. Because God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, does not make mistakes. It's giving you certain abilities, talents, and gifts to be able to give to the world in order for other people to awaken their talents, gifts, and all that stuff. Maybe my talent is being able to just yap on camera. And it's helping you, some of you guys, whether you're watching this channel, the main channel, the private Patreon community, working with me one-on-one, doing the consultations, maybe it's helping you guys awaken your divine spark, which could be music, which could be art, which could be health. You have certain God-given gifts that are not here just to make you rich, this and that. That's cool, that's part of the game. Hopefully you all live a luxurious life. But making that the pinnacle of life is, again, another way to just satisfy the ego, status, the lower three worlds. Again, survival, sex, status. If you make that the pinnacle of life, guess what? You're not actually tapping into spreading true love. You're not going to be tapping into the higher realms of reality, actually bringing heaven on earth. But that whole essence of being able to actually access the divine spark and use your gifts towards the advantage of everybody around you is what we're all brought here to do. Is our dharmic duty, our soul's purpose. Without that, you'll never be able to truly transcend beyond the lower level desires of humanity. And it's what keeps you stuck in the cycle of samsara, the cycle of reincarnation, coming back over and over and over again. And funny enough, you just keep addressing the lower level needs and lower level desires. Maybe you do come back as an animal, and that's game over. because that's what the universe sees you as. Oh, he just wants to go for his lower level desires, even though I've given him the free will and the opportunity and the gifts and the higher states of consciousness, the intelligence, the spiritual faculties that only man has access to, not animals. Yet he still wants to live like an animal. Guess what? I'll grant him that desire. I'll grant him to be living like that. If you make all these small little, again, pleasure is not true spiritual joy and true spiritual ecstasy, your main aim in life, are you like any better than an animal? Like, their higher realms of reality are that. Your lower level desires are their higher realms of reality. That's what they were brought here to do. That's their dharma. That's their duty. Survive, reproduce, and get up to the top of the food chain. That's what they're supposed to do. You as a human, you were blessed with the opportunity to access higher realms, to keep on elevating, to keep on evolving on the spiritual essence. And this is only accessed, again, when you tap into these practices, but when you shift your perspective on why you're doing them. You're not doing them just for benefits. You're doing them to actually live for God, aka that version of you, that divine spark within you that'll get you to that higher state, to those higher realms, and actually shower you with divine bliss, with spiritual ecstasy. Hopefully you're picking up what the fuck I'm putting down, man, because this is some sauce. This is some game for your motherfucking brain, so you ain't out here looking like a goddamn lame. You dig what I'm saying? Some real deal stuff right here, man. I wish somebody told me this when I first heard about semen retention, but maybe that's just part of the path. Maybe you have to be more understanding of the different aspects of reality before you just hop into this dense topic of retaining for the God within you, and actually start living for that purpose of becoming a divine vessel for the universe to use you as a tool to elevate humanity. If you gave me this kind of information at 20, 21 years old, when I first discovered the spiritual path, semen retention, all that good stuff, man, I'd be way more elevated, way more accelerated on my path. Hopefully all this stuff on this channel, the main channel, if you're in the private Patreon community, if you're working with me one-on-one, is helping streamline this process for you towards mastering the self and eventually realizing the eternal self. Stop knocking over the camera. Again, all this stuff that I'm trying to kind of relay to you guys, all the messages I'm trying to relay to you guys, again, are just tools for you to access that gnosis that's within. Semen retention is a tool to do that. Maybe I can give you some tips, techniques, and all that stuff to make that tool established within your holistic approach towards life. But at the end of the day, it's all on you to figure out that purpose, that dharmic duty that you were brought here to accomplish. This path is universal for everybody, but it's specific towards your individual needs and your individual human experience that you have. It's like, imagine a TV remote that's universal. It could work for any specific type of TV, but each of those TVs have different cable stations. So channel 70 on this TV might be channel 4 on the next TV. That remote, that tool is helping you still access all those TVs in itself, all those versions of yourself, this person, that person. But within that, when you finally get access to the TV, access towards yourself, there's different channels for each different person. There's different purposes for each different person. Hopefully that analogy made sense. Certain tools are universal. Semen retention is universal. Spiritual practices are universal. Physical vitality, physical health is universal. And I'm just trying to relay that message towards you, give you the tips, techniques to make this part of your foundation. You don't even got to think about practicing semen retention. It's just a part of your toolbox to be able to actually access that channel within the cable station that will give you the true source of fulfillment that your soul actually yearns for. Not what's going to pleasure the physical body, not what's going to pleasure your egotistical self, your lower self, your animalistic desires, because again, those aren't evil, those aren't bad, but they're temporary, they're illusions, and it don't make sense. It's like, would you rather build up your money, build up your finances to be able to buy a house, or are you okay with just settling right now and paying rent for an apartment? That money's going nowhere. It's going into the other person's pocket. When you actually have a mortgage towards that house, you're actually using those financial resources that you have to pay off the house, and then it's yours. It's yours for good. That's what fulfillment is. When you tap into fulfillment and you get it and you're living within that state, it's not a thing that you get, but it's a state of being and a state of mind that you access. And it roams with you, it rolls with you through the ups and downs within life when you finally access it. Pleasure, the rent's due every single month. The rent's due every single day. Whether that's through porn, whether that's through junk food, whether that's through hookup culture, whether that's through social media. You gotta constantly pay it, and you're getting nothing really back in return. You're always gonna be in that cycle. How do you transcend beyond that cycle? It's through these types of tools, but also most importantly, shifting your perspective on why you're using these tools. You might be using these tools of semen retention like some of these guys out here, some of these bozos, some of these clowns, to just be like, oh man, it's gonna get me women. You're using a practice, an ancient practice, where philosophies behind it were about transcending beyond your lower level desires and actually accessing and directing your focus towards the higher ideals in life. You're using that to just kind of satisfy your lower level desires. I'm gonna use semen retention to get women, just for female attraction, just for the benefits so I can get women. It's like, what, dude? What are you talking about? It don't work like that. That's why you don't quote unquote see the benefits. That's why you don't see these higher ideals in life. And you might be wondering, why is this guy on 4 years of semen retention? Because I'm actually seeing and experiencing what these sages, these mystics, these yogis, and all that stuff we're talking about. God damn, so many flies. Again, I'm not a saint, sage, or mystic at all. I would consider, yes, I'm on the mystic path, but I'm not self-realized. I'm not some ascended master. But what I'm saying is I understand what the fuck they're talking about within their books, within their ancient teachings, within the scriptures, within these texts that tell you that semen retention is a tool to build out your pathway, build out the gateway towards God, accessing the God within, accessing the God frequency, the God state of vibration. I understand it because my ideals and my perspectives have shifted from benefits towards living for God, towards actually accessing my higher self. And for you guys all out there who are able to listen to, damn, right when I looked at the camera, 3333. Sheesh. But for you guys out there that are able to listen to videos for this long, tap into the main channel, be able to actually understand the concepts that we break down there, that are maybe in the private Patreon community, that are maybe working with me one-on-one. You understand that this is the path. You might be struggling, but you understand, because you wouldn't watch all this stuff, man. You wouldn't waste your time with all this stuff. There's other people out there making content about semen retention, talking about female attraction. It's more mainstream, and it blows up. This is a niche audience. You're a niche type of person that I'm talking to. You resonate with the same type of stuff that I am. That's why we relate with one another. I'm not telling you that, again, some of these other spiritual content creators, semen retention content creators, tell you you're a chosen one, because you're not. But you've actually chosen to awaken that side of yourself. You've experienced it once. I don't know what it was. Maybe you're just understanding it through other people's experiences, but you want to attain that because it's your soul pulling you, drawing you towards it. This ain't for everybody. So be grateful that you'll be able to actually conceptualize these deeper aspects of our reality. and use it towards your advantage. Maybe your next incarnation, you will not be able to because you didn't fulfill your dharmic duty. Maybe the one before, you weren't able to do that. Right now, right here, you have the ability. Stop retaining for benefits and start doing it. Start living for God, for the greater good of humanity. Using this as a tool to help you access those parts of yourself to help, again, spread universal love in some way, shape, or form. It could be a YouTube channel. It could be becoming a doctor. It could be writing music. It could be painting art. Who knows? You are all brought here to create. Take that inner vision, like I've talked about before, how all men are built to be alchemists. Take that inner vision that you have within your mind that is God-given. Use your God-given abilities. Do this God-given vessel and actually materialize it out onto the physical world. Alchemize. Take those base metals, those ideas, and turn it into gold. Physical, tangible results that are going to help elevate the collective consciousness of humanity. That's your job here, man. And when it's finally time to clock out and go 6 feet under, there's no desires, there's no attachments, there's no things that are gonna hold you back from letting the spirit elevate to the next stage of its journey. Because again, this physical vessel will dissolve at one point. What's actually staying and what's actually permanent and what actually goes on to the next stages is the soul. Fulfill the soul and you can continue on this journey and see what the next level of life is. Imagine playing a video game and you're just in a loop of this one mission and you can't seem to beat that mission over and over and over and over and over again. You're gonna be like, fuck this game, man. I'm gonna throw this shit away. That's what your soul is doing right now. It's just stuck in the same cycle of this physical plane, of this human experience. I'm not saying the human experience is bad, but it's a stage within the evolutionary process. It's a stepping stone towards something higher. Fulfill the soul for the time being while you're here, while you have the conscious ability to understand these concepts, man. Rare breeds out here, rare breeds like I've talked about before. Understand that you're not just doing this for benefits, my guy. You're doing this for a much bigger reason and a much bigger picture. But there it is, man. It's been your boy out here in the field, in the flesh, dropping out that game so you guys can make these gains, and I'm out here. Peace.